Hello again, and welcome to another episode of the Fun Fans Podcast. We have a great show for you tonight. We get to talk about winning, and you will probably hear and see the Tomahawk chop more on this show tonight than we heard in the stadium the whole game last night. Bless their hearts. They should have brought the band.
Yes.
And we'll talk about how crazy the ACC is. But first, Fun Fans are a proud part of the Greenville Sports Media Podcasting Network. If you're a true sports fan, Greenville Sports Media is perfect for you. Find various nationwide podcasts, the latest articles and other sports media at greenvillesportsmedia.com. who can also be found on all forms of social media, just like the Fun Fans Podcast. The Fun Fans are the official podcast for Clemson fans.
Yeah, and don't forget, Seminole fans, you can chop it up at Reuben's Food, the best wings around, with two locations in the upstate, 1083 Batesville Road in Greer and 11028 Anderson Road in Piedmont. Their website is RubensC.com. It's a great place to eat, or do the tomahawk chop.
Listen, what happened?
We're terrible
All
winners.
Right. Terrible. All right, so no joke, for real, Seminole fans, if we have any Seminole fans out there, and for some reason my scrolling's not working anymore. My producer. We have been years and years and years of the Tomahawk chop, whatever they call it. And, we know that's a big part of their fans and everybody getting into it. And honestly didn't realize it wasn't a thing until the game was over last night, personally.
Well, I've said on this show plenty of times, I like the other band. I even like the Gamecock thing. They go dun 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 dun. I mean, it gets a little old after you hear it 30 times.
Yes.
But the Florida State band not being there, just they didn't have many fans there either.
Yes.
And compared to other years that we played with.
Right. All right. But anyway, speaking of, I am literally, seriously, it won't scroll. I don't know what's going on with my so we were going to bring up the pictures to talk about what we did at the tailgate and all that jazz.
Well, we can talk about the game first. Let's talk about the game.
All right, talk about the game, Bailey.
Yeah, you keep playing around with that. So you're
work on the production side here.
Hey, we won.
What?
All right. And your question on the script that I'm looking at said, did we play well or did they play poorly?
Right.
We just held the number one ranked offense in the country to 150 yards less than they normally gain per game. They were ranked number one coming into the game.
Really?
They had not been shut out in a half all year, and we were within 20-something seconds of doing that. So I thought the defense played way better. And, yeah, they had some drops, but I went back and watched the game today. 3 or 4 of those drops, they weren't good passes. They were behind the receivers. And now the one on the wheel route on 4th and short, that was a great play call. That was an out.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And Gus Malzahn is their offensive coordinator. He's like the biggest guru for offense in the country. So,
right.
But we dominated the time of possession. They got more first downs than we got. They gained more yards than we got. But you know what? We had 2 penalties. That was it. And we had 0 turnovers.
That's huge.
Yep.
Always huge.
Yes, we beat them.
Yeah, there were only a couple. There were more than just a couple of what looked like drops, but there were only a couple of them that were probably legit, should have been caught and would have made, which is a 2-score game, still could have made a difference in the game, just 2 catches. Sure. But, yeah, it wasn't that they played so bad. And, I mean, yeah, we played well. I think we did really well. And
and honestly, we played well on offense last week.
We did.
I mean, we scored 45 points. Come on. So
Yep.
there was
a few weeks in a row.
a little chippy out there. Stuff we can't really see from our vantage point, and at a live game you can't see it, but there was some chippiness when I watched the game today. So,
well, I predicted that. You know, I've said on here before, really hadn't said it much this year. I don't think that, you know, we're still dealing with kids, and there's a lot of emotion that goes into how well these kids play. We know that as high school coaches. It's even more so with high school kids. But college kids, the same thing. And I'm like, they're going to get up to play each other. I felt like both teams would, you know, they're not having a great season. What are we, quote unquote, playing for? These kids know they're playing Florida State. The Florida State kids know they're playing Clemson. So that's a big deal. It's like they've all been trained by the media. They've fallen for, and not they've fallen for because it's just two great programs historically. But, you know, they know that's a game they want to win. Those are players that they're going to see in the NFL, and they're going to want to talk trash or whatever.
Yeah.
And I knew that both teams were going to play well, I thought.
Well, and here's the thing. They ran a graphic on television. The two schools have combined for 6 national championships, 41 ACC championships, and over 100 draft picks in the NFL in the last however many years. So it's still Florida State. That used to be the Bowden Bowl. It used to be a big deal every year. And it still is because, hey, I'll give the fans credit. The place was full, you know?
Yeah.
It wasn't like stupid packed, but it was full. Like the upper deck was full. Everywhere else was full. So I was happy about that. Because that was not a great turnout when we played Duke. It just wasn't a good look.
Yeah. It was Duke, and it was a noon game, but it was homecoming, so I kind of expected it. I think putting homecoming with Halloween may not have been the best idea in the world. Some alumni with small children, they may have had too many conflicts with trick-or-treating or something.
Every now and then I'm just going to do that.
Well, that's cool because that'll be the entertainment versus the pictures that I uploaded to our platform here that I cannot get this thing to scroll. So I can't turn the music off and I can't get to our pictures. But the tailgate was lit.
Literally. We had
lights. I'll post the pictures when we post the show on social media. And we had a good time. We got there. We had some buffalo chicken sliders and some barbecue, and Bailey's daughter, and brought some friends, and had a coworker and her family stop by, and we had a good old time in Lot 10.
Yep, it was like we had a little DJ. There was even some dancing that broke out.
There was.
Hey,
should we announce what?
Life's too short. Have fun.
Ain't that the truth? All right, so we don't have what else? The pictures. There's a great picture of me and you and Jillian and Caleb in our seats, but you know, I'll post them on social media. We'll see. And I can't believe. So the picture that I posted with this event was Grayson with her student ticket, the wristband for the Hill. She took a picture of it and sent it to us. And I'm like, it's like a rite of passage.
That's right.
As the Clemson student. She got to sit on the Hill. You know, for us, that was the low tier student section seats was on the Hill. We were right there in the lower deck.
Right.
And any student that wanted a ticket could get in, kind of thing. So now it's definitely, but you had to sit on the Hill as a student at some point in time, usually freshmen.
I did it. Well, and see, I worked for the ticket office. You know, you used to have to go get your tickets at Little John, right?
Yeah.
Well, I worked for the ticket office my freshman year, and I'd work 4 or 5 hours a week sitting down there giving out tickets. And as a result, we got like 40 yard line seats for being an employee. Yeah, they were nice.
But it was, things have changed. More students more demand for tickets, so it's harder for the students to get a ticket. So the rite of passage for her to get a Hill ticket and have a great game with her and her roommate, and I think some other friends on the Hill, was really cool. So anyway, well, I'll post the pictures on social media, and it'll show the fun visually. Anyway, all right. So some other teams, some other games. While we were at the tailgate, the other picture I had was how we set our TV up differently. Bailey went straight engineer and roof mounted the television in the tent. That was awesome. And we watched Indiana almost get beat by Penn State. They got 3 or 4 wins or whatever, and they fired their coach, and they're playing the number 2 team in the country, and they gave them all they could ask for. But what happened at the end of that game, Bailey?
Players make plays.
It was, what did you call it? That last drive.
Well, it's every team that ends up winning something major has moments that you go, you'll never forget this moment. I remember Chase Bryce coming in against, I think, Syracuse and leading a game-winning drive in a national championship season.
Yep.
Because Trevor got knocked out or something.
The way they went down the field.
Indiana, the quarterback, made some throws that were like, here you go, my guy's just better than you. They're going to go catch it.
Yep.
And they did. Give them credit. They made the plays. They
got some toes in, and Bailey, it's like Bailey said, it makes them look like a team of destiny. But that was a great game. I kind of hate it for Penn State. That would have been very cool for them to upset Indiana. But, another team had a similar game yesterday. I saw this on the highlights. But it took something like that for Oregon to beat Iowa.
Yeah, they were talking about that on the radio Friday, that it was almost a lock that you pick Iowa if you were going to use one of the dual sites or betting apps, because it was going to be 42 degrees, raining, miserable in Iowa.
Yeah. The only people used to that are the ones that live there.
All the cold air that was up there is coming here.
It's on its way.
Oh.
So the question is, are the fun fans predicting, if that's another team of destiny, are we predicting an Oregon versus Indiana national championship matchup?
No.
No? Okay. We don't do that kind of stuff anymore.
I honestly think Oregon's pretty good. I honestly think Indiana and Ohio State could play twice in the next month and a half.
Yes. I think those 3 teams, and give the SEC their credit, but those 3 are definitely as good as the top teams in the SEC for sure. I'm not saying they're right there with them.
A&M, Bama, you pick one of them. I mean, they all have great players, and everybody's got good players. They're all Division I athletes.
Yes, they are. All right, before we get to any other games, so I want to give a shout out to YouTube TV, Disney, ABC, ESPN. They're having their little spat. That turned me into a day slinger last weekend. But this week, I went on the Fubo, however you pronounce Fubo. Fubo.
I think it's Fubo.
Fubo. The free trial. I think I spelled it trail on our.
You did. I was like.
On our script here.
Was it like a walking trail?
Google doesn't correct when I properly spelled trail, but I should have put trial. But anyway, just want to go on here and officially say it looks like YouTube TV is about to get dropped by the Dillards because they can't get their poo-poo together.
Like a Florida State pass play.
Like a Florida State pass. I do want to say this, though. Short, quick rant, since to our dozens and dozens of listeners, feel free to pass this on.
It would not be a show without you ranting about something.
One thing, this could be a fun, not fun segment. This is not fun. It's pretty crappy for ESPN to control all they control in college football. The times, the what network is going on, and all this kind of ABC, ESPN, ESPN2, whatever, the kickoff times, etc. And then for them to get into this contract dispute in the middle of football season with one of the largest TV providers in the country. It's almost as if Mickey had this up his little sleeve. Does he have sleeves? Does Mickey
Yeah,
have
I
sleeves?
think when he wears the little, doesn't he wear like a tuxedo coat sometime?
Yeah, when he's doing
Yeah,
the directing.
yeah,
Yeah.
when he's dressed up.
Yeah, it was the Philharmonic. It's almost like Mickey had this up his sleeve. I think it's pretty crappy. I'm just gonna leave
I
it at
think
that. All right, so
Mickey has multiple outfits, right?
yes, and he's gonna and you know who owns Fubo?
No,
Who is majority owner of Fubo?
I do not.
Disney.
Really?
Disney. Yes. So I'm not a conspiracy theorist. This is fact. Mickey gonna get his money.
Yep.
Period. So, all right, enough about that. What else is crazy in this world is the ACC. I mean, they should give us, they talk about the ACC like it's bad, but they should give the ACC the credit that's due of creating the parity in college football that everybody wants anyway. Virginia loses to Wake. Louisville loses to Cal. Nobody's undefeated in the conference anymore. It's like 4 teams with 1 loss. 2 or 3 more
4 or
teams
5
with 2
teams have
losses.
1 loss, and there's a couple with 2.
Yeah. But now, isn't that what, seriously though, isn't that what the fans want out of sports?
Yeah, people don't like the destinies. The dynasties. Destiny was a word we used earlier to talk about Indiana. The dynasty, people don't like them.
Correct.
But nobody's beaten Ohio State yet.
This is true.
And
That's what I'm saying. ACC is giving the people what they want. This is the thing about the people. When the people are talking about college football, they want parity. But when a person is talking about their team, they want to go undefeated.
right.
That's why all these coaches are getting fired.
Or fire the coach if they don't.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure you heard me last night say, when Cade Klubnik made a great decision on an incomplete pass, I'm going to throw this at the dude's feet because they have jumped the route. He made that decision. Hey, let's go. Nice job, Cade.
Nice job.
It was. Like,
Yeah.
we don't praise people enough. We
Right.
are critical all the time. And if a guy, like I saw the play where you said he should have run, and the guy behind me said he should have run, and he should have run.
They should have run.
But in that split second, that's a decision he has to make. Boom, on the fly.
Well, and the decision he made was fine. It was the second best decision.
The guy was
possible.
open. He just threw it a little high.
Yeah.
But I understand, it's like these are kids, man. They're out there making split-second decisions. And, now we have the baby NFL, I call it. I was explaining this to a guy I play golf with. He's like, man, these teams are terrible. These teams are this. I said, wait a minute. How many teams have ever gone undefeated in the history of the NFL?
That's right.
I don't know, 1. I said, that's what we have in college now.
Exactly.
We've created the NFL model, the more competitive, balanced type situation. Now, they need to salary cap it if they really want to be like the NFL.
Yep.
I mean, I could talk on and on about the antitrust legislation and the reason, the way the NFL revenue shares and the way Major League Baseball doesn't, and then all the stuff that I've written papers about, but that would be for another show.
Yeah. Well, Dabo was saying the same thing about we're trying to do things like the NFL, so it's going to turn out similar to the NFL, but they have like 36 or whatever teams for a 12-team playoff, and we have 136 teams for a 12-team playoff. And he's like, it's not sustainable, and you're going to be firing coaches for not making the playoffs when the chances of making the playoffs in our the way it's set up now are extremely slim. Talking with a coworker. Yeah, I was talking with Coach Long, was telling me about talk with him about a lot of stuff, and he pointed out it's as if people don't think that somebody has to lose when a game is played.
Right.
Somebody has to lose, and when the teams become more and more comparable, more and more even as far as talent and whatnot, because they're all spending money and the kids can transfer and that kind of thing. you're gonna have Vanderbilt's, at the top of the conference, and you're not gonna have Clemson and Alabama going undefeated all the time, and that's what people want until it's their team. When it's their team,
right?
LSU,
until their team falls on somewhat of a mediocre season.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, it's going to be the new. And old people like us would say, 2 years ago, when it's going to ruin college. It's definitely changing how it used to be. To say it's a bad product, we can't say it. We can sit down and watch. I can sit down and watch college football all day, every Saturday still. So I don't want to say it's ruined college football, but it is definitely not the college. And people got to quit expecting the old result. Anyway, our friends in Columbia were
I
open.
can do that too, but it's kind of like a book. They better get me in the first chapter.
Yeah. Well, I enjoy a good game now. If it's a good game.
Yeah, I can't. I have trouble sitting all day. I got to get out and move around. But anyway,
get out and move.
I'm watching the Tigers game, baby. Maybe Florida State, my new favorite move. Hey, the guy after the game last night didn't like that, did he?
I didn't, and I wasn't meaning to be picking.
We weren't trying to be ugly.
Just pointing out that it just hit me that they never did that. I never heard it. The band wasn't there.
Right.
Didn't even bring a pep band. We always point out how our friends in Columbia did. They had an open, and hopefully they were getting ready for their game next Saturday because they take on current CFP ranked number 3 and team in the country. And speaking of the rankings, real quick, Bailey. So we hadn't had a show since
they're playing at Texas A&M, right? Yes.
I think so. Yeah.
Kyle Field.
That's gonna be tough.
All right. Sorry to interrupt you.
No, since the rankings came out Tuesday, we haven't had a show. Was there anything that caught your eye or got you like, what in the world? Or hey, this is perfect? Or it's just, and I know this first ranking, it don't mean anything, but it makes for a good talking point for a week.
Well, I heard him talk about on the radio the disrespect that was shown to the ACC. How Notre Dame can lose twice, lose to the same team that somebody else beat, and still be ranked higher than them.
Yes.
Folks, you can write them down. Notre Dame is going to be in the playoff every year.
I think it would take, they might have to
lose
be like
4 games.
Yeah, 8-4.
Right.
If they lost 4 games, there's no way they could. Well, I take that back. There's going to come a time when every team in the playoff, in my opinion, is going to have a couple of losses. So if Notre Dame's got 4, they still might get in.
Well, see, the thing about the NFL, you can be 8-9 and win the NFC South, and you could win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's their teams make playoffs in the NFL that don't even have a winning record sometimes, but they win their divisions.
It's only happened a couple times, but it did happen recently.
Yeah. So anyway, the only thing Notre Dame, they should have been somewhere to 2 to 4 places further down. They're a good team and they're deserving of being in there somewhere, but I don't think they should have been a number 10. But it's not the end of the world because they're eventually going to work their way up to that point anyway. So, here's a question. Speaking of Notre Dame,
I'm listening.
Deep thoughts. It's a deep thought moment. Everybody gives Notre Dame credit. They get some credit for playing in their 2 losses. It was a really close game to 2 really good teams, A&M and Miami. Well, do you take away any credit for the Indiana game that we just talked about, for them playing such a close game to a team that's not having a good season, a team that's struggling?
I don't think so. I think
the answer is no, but the question is why? How do we give credit for one team playing a great team close, but we don't take away credit for another team that almost gets beat by a lesser opponent?
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all can y'all ponder on that, and we'll worry about it later. All right, what's coming up this Friday? We got Friday night football. Bailey, tell us how you feel about college football on Friday night.
I think it's a terrible idea. And I've said this before. Friday nights are for high school football in the state of South Carolina.
Agree. Period.
Now, whatever they do in Kentucky for high school football, which is nothing, it's not even close to South Carolina, Georgia, Tennessee, even North Carolina, Florida. There's a lot of states that play on like Saturday mornings, high school football. Huh? What?
Well, the only ones I know of that do that are like inner city places that have to do it for safety purposes.
Oh no, they're new up in the. My cousin played in Maryland. They played on Saturdays.
Like Little League.
Years ago.
Just why?
Years ago.
Well,
but there are also guys. There are guys I went to college with from like Massachusetts, Connecticut, wherever. They play on Saturdays.
We don't like Friday night college football, and I hate to say it, Clemson. They will if Clemson goes up there and beats Louisville this year, the way they've been playing, they will definitely be breaking the stereotype of how Clemson normally lays an egg on a Friday night away game.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking about Syracuse.
Yeah.
A couple times. I'm trying to look
about
up
8 years
something
ago.
for the show here.
Yeah. So anyway, all right. That's all I got, Bailey. You got anything else?
Yeah, I will say this. If you haven't had a chance to check out the new look Clemson Tiger basketball team, you need to do that. They have 3 players left from last year's team. 2 of those were red shirts, so you never saw them. One of them's Greg Buckner's son, who's playing awesome. And then shout out to the women's basketball program. They just landed a commitment from 5-star recruit Trinity Jones. She's considered to be the number 11 player in her class in the nation. Is Clemson the new hot place for women's basketball? That's a question.
That's a question. Coach Poppy.
And the men's team's pretty good too.
Yep.
They're pretty good.
Looking forward to some good basketball. And, football's not over.
We're still predicting. Saturday.
We're still predicting Clemson's going to win out and go to a bowl and finish strong. Right, Bailey?
Heck yeah. Predictions, Pinstripe Bowl, Birmingham Bowl, or the Gasparilla Bowl. Those are the latest projections.
We weren't even into bowl projections last week.
Well,
whatever. Those don't mean anything. Talk about it. That's like preseason polls. Some bowl projection halfway through the season. They don't mean anything anyway. All right.
Would you rather go?
We had a great show.
We could drive to Birmingham.
Well, of course we can drive. Yeah, we drive to the pin. Right now, you better drive. I wouldn't try booking a flight.
No, I wouldn't either.
Supposedly,
I just saw DJ Uyunglele on the sideline for the Chargers, and he must be on their practice squad.
Bless. Hey, speaking of breaking news, though, I'm hearing that the government shutdown is going to end tomorrow. So that's a fun fact. Get those people their paychecks and stuff. All right, so I hope you enjoyed the show. It's always great to beat FSU. It is. That's kind of a rivalry. It's become somewhat of a rivalry.
It is a rivalry.
It's a rivalry. I think it is. Never thought we'd go the entire game without hearing the chop. They should have brought their band. Yes. I'm glad they didn't now, but for their sake, for Norvell. Wait a minute. Did anybody get fired today?
No.
I didn't think so either. All right. We will be back next Saturday. Sorry for the music and the production problems. I'll post a couple of pictures on social media. Check them out. Thanks again for checking us out. Don't forget to click subscribe on the Fun Fans Podcast YouTube channel, as well as your favorite podcast platform. Follow us on social media. And please share on behalf of the Fun Fans Podcast, Jay Thrilla Entertainment, Greenville Sports Media, and Bailey Jackson.
We out. Hey, remember the veterans. Remember the veterans.
Yep. Oh, we'll have to work that in the next show for real. See you next week. Go Tigers.